Hey everyone, this is Delton, the creator of Meow, and today I'm going to show you many of the cards that have not been revealed at all. This is the first video ever showcasing all the cards, or at least some of the cards that have been drawn and developed in Meow, and I'm going to go through the history of where the development came from, where the inspiration arrived from, and some of the cards. So stick with me here and we are going to see some of the cards. I'm going to try to present the cards as best as possible. If they don't show in the video well, I'll just, alrighty. So first of all, these cards have been drawn when I was at a place similar to kind of now. Like right now, I don't have like a current income or like a very stable like opportunity to make income as far as like doing part-time gigs, painting here and there, and picking up shifts with Shift Smart at the Circle K's. So at the time when I've drawn many of these cards, I say many, when I've drawn all these cards, I was at a home in Burbridge and I didn't have a vehicle to get to anywhere, and it took me an hour to walk to the Walmart, and that was the most commercial store, the most universalized store as compared to a McDonald's, which was also about 50 minutes from the house. So if you know the area, if you know Burr Bridge, you would know of the highway. I lived on the highway, and that constituted of 50 minutes of walking just to get to the McDonald's or the gas station. So I was at home a bunch. My Nana would often cash app for food. I'd get food, or I'd have some pasta. I'd make some pasta. After the pasta was made, I would then, wash the bowls, not from the sink, but from the bathtub. And this isn't to make this was so distressed, or this is so difficult. This isn't the reason for the story. I'm just telling you how it is. I'm just telling you exactly kind of the stresses that I went through, just to be able to think of something that would be fun for people at home, people that may not have many items or ability to be out and about doing something. So, So here's one card, the very, very first card, summer 2024, and the name of the card is Barrington. And the name, hopefully if you connect to it, it inspires kind of like a more affluent character. So Barrington has a monocle, he has a watch, and he has 2 attack and 5 defense. So his ability is that he can stun every cat for 1 turn. So he's pretty strong. See, I was reading that correctly, and he was the very, very first card, the very first drawing of Meow. So him being that strong makes lots of sense. He has 5 defense, and his quirks are likes luxury, hot baths, and shopping. So some of the quirks were made after my likeness, because I like luxury things. I like, going out shopping, but I'm not materialistic. At least, an internal part of myself is that I don't really, I'm indifferent to material things, but I also really love material things. I like very beautifully designed pieces of artwork. That could be fine art, that could even be Block Pawn, the watchmaker. So Barrington is a very, very great card. I haven't digitized him yet as of this video being made, but perhaps when you're watching, the card will have been digitized and he will be part of the developers edition. So there will be a founders edition that includes the water series, the grass series, and if you're lucky to be part of the Kickstarter, you will also get a bonus booster of the Biker Boy series. And then after then, there will be another release of the developer series, which is all maybe up to 40 of the very first cards that have been drawn since the development of the Meow universe. All right, so here is Ava, card number 2. And Ava gives +1 attack and +1 defense to teammates after Pep Talk. And Pep Talk activates once after your turn. So she gives a pep talk to her teammates. She's really cool. She even has a nice little smile, if you can see there. And that's her ability. She gives a pep talk after your turn, and the teammates get +1 attack and defense, and she's a 1/3, so she's pretty balanced. Here I have Brooke, the 3rd card drawing, again from 2024. Many of these cards that have blue ink, have been the cards that are very much the beginning of the Meow universe. And even though most of these cards aren't in the Founders Edition, they will be in the Developers Edition for a limited print. So Brooke is a 3 attack and a 2 defense, and her quirks is likes accounting, bad with math. So there is an occupation series that has yet to even been shown publicly, but she may, or not may, but she'll be part of the occupation series, and she's of the Developers Edition as well. So here's Sable. She's a 3 attack, 2 defense, and her abilities is gain 1 attack after 1 turn. So Sable is pretty strong as far as balance goes if she just gains 1 attack after 1 turn, but as it reads, it doesn't say like after every turn or after every turn subsequently of that 1 turn. So if she gains 1 attack after 1 turn, then technically she could gain an attack after every turn, your turn and the other player's turn. However, this is to be reclarified that she gains 1 attack after your turn, and that activates once. But hey, that turns her into a 4/2, so that's a pretty good card as well. Here we have Arnold. He was the very first enhanced card because of his abilities. He's a 2/4, a bit stronger than most of the newer cards. His quirk is likes to sit inside boxes, so very cat-like. And his ability is gains defense after each turn. So if he's a 2/4 and he gains defense after each turn, man, Arnold is probably too strong. So, you know, I'm gonna have to clarify and refine Arnold. So again, yeah, most of these cat cards were drawn with the inspiration to develop something that was based on cats, either with a very cat-like personality or more personified personality. So here we have Monique. Monique has a shopping bag with her. She's number 8 of the Meow universe, and she has 2 attack, 3 defense, and she doesn't have any abilities, but she likes money and she online shops. Here's a cat character that may not be fully revised or refined into a final character, because the character was loosely based on the series or the television show of Rick and Morty, and it's the only card that is relating to that television show called Rick and Morty. It's not a very kid-friendly show, so because this is more so wholesome, it doesn't really vilify or whatever the character. You know, the young ones, teens, they play Fortnite. They put every characters in Fortnite: Simpsons, Rick and Morty, Power Rangers, Family Guy, many more, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Jujutsu Kaisen, all these very characters. But as far as right now, because I do not have a license agreement with the Rick and Morty television show, I'll have to consider if Rick and Morty and I can make a cat called Morty. So he has 2 attack, 4 defense, And his ability, his ability is that he loses one defense and gains one attack. After turn, activates once. So after your turn, he loses one defense and he gains one attack, and he becomes a 3/3. Makes him pretty balanced. And his quirk says has a grandpa cat named Rick. Now I don't even have that cat drawn at all. So right now Morty is just the one card based very loosely, but obviously very closely to that television show known as Rick and Morty. So anyhow, here we have Trent Jr., card number 11. So card number 10 is one of the cards in the Founders Edition of the Water and Grass series. So you'll be seeing that very soon. Trent Jr., he's inside a couch, and he has 4 attack and 2 defense. And his abilities is that he can attack 1 star after out. Yeah, this the way that this is written. However, after out, but at the cost of 1 defense of any cat on the team. So Trent Jr. has a pretty cool ability. Basically, he can add one. He can attack 1 attack star after played, but it'll cost 1 defense star of any cat on your team. So he's already a 4-star. You can then add a pre-combat attack of 1 star to any cat on the other team, but it'll cost you a defense from one of the cats on your team. So he has a pretty cool ability, and he doesn't have too much defense, so that makes him pretty powerful, but also fairly balanced. Have Chester, he's playing with the baseball. And I'm not gonna go through all the abilities and stats of all the cats. It's just to show you the linear progression of all the cats. Have Mr. Stumps on a treadmill. Again, these were drawn in 2024. The blue ink shows the as well as you may be able to see the quality or the age of the paper itself. This is Blair. She doesn't have any abilities, and you can see she's looking at a spider. Major, one of the first military cats of the series of the Meow universe. There is a military cat series. Stay tuned to see more of the updates of that. Here's Major. He's chilling. He looks. He's in such a vibe. Major is in such a great comfort of joy. His jovial mood, his face makes me feel good. Like, look at that face. And he has his hat on. Major is awesome. Major is number 16 of the Meow universe. So for that developers edition, be on the lookout for Major, the very, very first military cat series. So yes. And what is Major's ability? He gains 2 attack after drawn turn. So after you draw Major, he gains 2 attacks. So he goes from a 2/2 to a 4/2. So that's very exciting. Have Tam Tams. She has the ability to gain 1 defense after drawn turn. So she goes from a 0 attack to 3 defense. Now, yes, I get it. Tam Tams doesn't have any attack. What use is that of Tam Tams? But, you know, she could be refined to have an attack to make her more balanced. As of now, from this very, 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 very beginning of the Meow universe, she has no attack and she has 2 defense. Her quirk is friendly, loves to be pet, very cat-like. Her not having an attack doesn't make her not, you know, a card that maybe someone would just like to have in their deck. But as far as competitive wise, I would not recommend Tam Tams within the deck. Here we have Oscar, the very, very first cat of the music series of the Meow universe. And during the development stage, many of these cards were just drawn just because they weren't drawn with the intent of music series, military series, biker boy series. They were just drawings with imagination, and that becomes what you'll see by the time you see this video, the Founders Edition. His quirks is professional dancer, so yeah, he's probably at like a nice festival or a concert. He has his cool shades on. His abilities is can rebound one attack. So any attack that is directed at Oscar can then be rebounded to the cat that attacked him. And that's pretty powerful. He may be an enhance, especially with 4 attack himself, though he has 2 defense, so that makes him kind of balanced. Alrighty, here's Stephanie doing a cat stretch, very cat-like, and her abilities is reduces 2 attack of opponents, of each opponent cat. Wow, Stephanie is super strong. Stephanie is super strong. Now, you may have noticed there is a black ink right there, but the cats are written in blue ink as well as the abilities. That's because these cards weren't even numbered when I first started the Meow universe. When the Meow universe took creation, when the Meow universe became, when the Meow universe started as a set of cards, there were no numbers chronologically ordering when the card was designed or what order the card was made, as far as the Meow universe. So Stephanie is pretty powerful. Maybe that's why I kept stuttering, because Stephanie reduces 2 attack of the opponents of each opponent cat. Stephanie is an enhance. So when you see a star next to the circle, that's an enhanced card, and Stephanie for sure is an enhanced quality card. Here we have T-Bone. T-Bone number 21. Abilities: loses 1 attack each turn. T-Bone is a self-destructing cat, but however, look at him. He's just chilling on a chair. His quirks is easily impressed. We all know some cats that are just easily impressed, and some cats that are not impressed by anything. T-Bone, he's easily impressed. Maybe he falls off the chair, hurts himself a little bit, but hey, we salute T-Bone for being and for making the game exciting. Here we have Lysandra, a very muscular cat. She has the ability to gain an attack after every 2 turns. So Lysandra has a bit more of a technical ability, and the boundary that she evolves with her strength is very ubiquitous. The fact that she is able to gain 1 attack after every 2 turns makes her pretty strong, but because it's after every 2 turns, that means your turn and the other player's turn, and then that counts as 2 turns. That makes that so she doesn't power creep, or she doesn't exponentially gain too much attack. And since she's a 3/3, that makes her pretty balanced and also pretty worthy of her being in any deck that you may have. Look for Lysandra, part of the Developers Edition. Here we have Lionel. He's sitting next to a controller. He's obviously very small. There's no distinction of adult or kid cat. You can make your own impression on that, but as it seems, Lionel may just be a kitten. And he has the ability to gain 3 attack after drawn. Lionel is kind of too strong. Lionel has 5 defense, and he gains 3 attack. Lionel is actually possibly even an ultra. This is very enhanced level strength. So Lionel is very strong. Here's Leo. Leo is just made to just be a cat with a hat around his body. And he has 1 defense and 1 attack. But he gains 1 defense to teammates after defeated. or he adds 1 defense to teammates after he's defeated. So if you just want to have a funny little quirky card, place it into your deck, be able to add 1 defense to your teammates after being defeated, that is of your team, then sure, have Leo within the deck. As far as strengths and art design, Leo has a fun art design, but maybe not the best strengths. But if that is particularly exciting for you, then Leo is your cat. So here we have Sasha. She's a 3/3, doesn't have any abilities. Her quirk is likes cat naps. So she's looking into the fridge. She's 25 of the Meow universe. And the balance begins, right? So that's for the early 30. The developers edition goes all the way to 36. Here we have Tradley. He has boxing gloves on, and he gains 1 attack when provoked. And he's already a 4 attack. Excuse me. He's already a 4 attack and 3 defense. Provoking abilities if and when 2 teammate cats are defeated simultaneously. So he's a 4/3, but you have to knock out 2 other cats simultaneously. So within that turn, you have to defeat 2 cats for him to gain an extra attack. So that makes him pretty strong, but not overpowered. And the developer series went to 36 cards before there was a hiatus of drawing. And then that's when I had began drawing in 2025, in summer of 2025. Here you can see Great Caterai, number 38, black ink, and abilities. Wait until you see the abilities of Great Caterai. Actually, wait until you see. And then we have Koila. She has a fan in front of her face. She also has very beautifully made abilities. And then we get to effect cards. So there are field effects, instant effects, and here's Mystery Red Dot. I'll let y'all think what y'all want about what Mystery Red Dot does. It is very fun, very, very impressive. And we also have music series cats. So I just thought not to reveal so many cat cards, but until they're released, you can, have the imagination of what cat cards are going to be made. But here is Grandmaster Jazz. Obviously, if you know any music history, you'll know that Grandmaster Jazz was a DJ. Grandmaster Flash was a DJ. Excuse me. Grandmaster Flash was a DJ, and Grandmaster Jazz is the cat personified version of Grandmaster Flash. Anyhow, we have Josie. Timmy Philindrix, although again, as with the Morty card or character, the Morty cat character, with Morty, Grandmaster Jazz, and Timmy Philindrix have to be, a bit cautious on licensing. If anyone is within that realm of knowledge, ChatGPT and myself, we speak very often regarding those kind of preliminary cautions about licensing and likeness to famous or well-known individuals, people that have had careers that have been based on their name or likeness. So that is something that I'm aware about, so that I don't run into any kind of legal concerns or legal troubles about, names and likenesses of famous icons or people that have their name accruing some kind of novelty of familiarity because of a name. A name like Timmy Philindrix. If they're like, hey, that sounds like the guitar player that I won't name, then we're going to avoid that. Right here, though, is not any name or likeness, Mr. McMuffins. And you can see Mr. McMuffins has his, collar around his neck. He's got his hair parted to the side. Mr. McMuffins is just fully gothic and ready to cause some hysteria. So he has no abilities, but his quirk says, oh, he does have an ability. So Mr. McMuffin's quirk says, don't let the name fool you. This cat is not sweet. So look at his face. He's totally staring you down. He's like, hey, like, I don't know. He's not even staring you down. He's looking right through you. So, and his abilities is Super Meow. He lets out a scream that knocks 2 defense of other players' cats. So Mr. McMuffins is an enhanced. Even though he doesn't have the star there, I already know that. If he can knock 2 defense of other players' cats, and right now it doesn't say if it's just 1 cat, 2 cats, or 3. It says other players' cats. May have to limit that to just 2 cats or 1 cat. But because he can perform Super Meow, and that's pre-combat, that's before the direct combat phase, that's a powerful ability. He has a chance to do a 4-star attack on just one cat, if he performs Super Meow and does his attack. And he also has 6 Psi, activated by the other player, causes your cats to lose 1 defense. Can be activated once per game. This is an interesting ability. So 6 Psi is activated by the other player. And when it's activated by the other player, it causes your cats to lose 1 defense. But it can only be activated once per game. So if you have 2 Mr. McMuffins in your deck, then you can activate Super Meow more than once per game, but 6 Psi can only retroactively affect your cats once per game. So Mr. McMuffins is a pretty cool, unique card. I'm gonna put these cards right here. We're gonna look at some of the newer cards. Here I have Pawnee. He's an older cat based on pawn shops and people that work at, workers of pawn shops, people that work at pawn shops. And he just has 1 attack and 1 defense. But let's see what his ability is, because he is starred, so he has an enhanced ability. His ability is trade. Pawnee trades any 2 abilities with 2 cats. You are able to construct. The video had cut off, and I don't know when the video had cut off. It could have cut off at Slimes Bernard, Raven the Athletic, Chet the football cat that I have, or Catnip, the field effect card that will be available. But with that in mind, stay tuned for the Kickstarter to be released very soon, so that you can have your chance to the Founders Edition, as well as to see the development of the Meow universe. Thank you for watching the video. I'm excited to bring these wonderful, beautiful cards with art, the cat cards, the abilities, everything about the Meow universe to you, to your family, to your friends, colleagues, so that you can have a fun, wholesome game that you can play on rainy days, sunny days, or just when you like to have some downtime. And stay tuned for the updates. Follow Meow Card Game on Instagram and Meow Card Game Official to see all the updates of the Meow universe. And I'm excited, as well as I hope you're excited just as much to see the best card game of the century be developed right in front of your eyes, so that you can have a fun game based on cats to enjoy for the rest of your lives. Thank you.